Alright, what's up guys? It's Ryan here again. Gonna be playing through Silver Surfer on the Nintendo without dying. This game took me a little while. I beat the game a few years ago with continues and stuff, but this was before my YouTube channel was up and running. I wasn't making my playthroughs and stuff, and I wasn't taking pictures of my the game ending screens. And this year, I for the past 2 years, I've been keeping track of all the games I've been beating, and I'm up to just over 130 right now within the past 2 years, all Nintendo. But this was actually for this year. This was my 50th game beaten for 2014, so I kind of figured out, I'd make it a memorable one, game that a lot of people say is, difficult or whatever. And after running through the Ninja Turtle game, I kind of figured it was possible. I mean, the game itself, once you're fully powered up, with your weapon, you have the two shots coming in for the side scroller, and then the full-on 3 shots for the top scroller. The game just becomes more a game of avoidance. It's not really doesn't really become a shmup, I guess. It changes because your weapon is basically so overpowered that as long as you're not riding the right edge of the screen or riding the top of the screen when you're doing the top-down areas, nothing's going to come close to you, really. So once you're fully powered up, it just becomes a mission of trying to avoid what you need to avoid, and it's just memorization of the levels. Now, before actually getting this one done, I had actually gotten through to the last boss and choked twice. So this was definitely a big relief for me when I actually pulled it off. As you can see, I mean, the game itself is fairly short, to be honest with you. I mean, you have the 5 guys you can pick in the beginning, and then there's a 6th stage. Is it 5 or 6 guys? We'll see in a second. Then there's a final stage of the magic something on some weird guy. It's in the magic domain. I wasn't a big Silver Surfer fan, so I don't really know the lore. I don't know. I mean, I know who Galactus is, kind of. I was never really into comics that much. But I do, I know who Galactus is. If I remember, he's an evil force that just eats planets or something. Yeah, I didn't really grow up with comics, so not 100% on what the story is with Silver Surfer. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I mean, I'm assuming he's a good guy because you're playing as him. I don't see why there would be a game made for Silver Surfer if he's a bad guy. So I'm assuming he's good. I think he's is he in the Fantastic Four? I think so. I don't know. Now that red thing, I passed up. If you shoot it, it doesn't give you an item, and actually the red little ball shoots around in a big circle, and it gets faster and faster, and eventually you can't see it. So do your best to not shoot that thing. It just saves the headache. And you can see what I was saying earlier as far as the game. No enemy is anywhere near you. You can just your weapon's so strong. Especially when it shoots in 3 directions. I mean, that's one thing that does make this game difficult, is if you are trying to beat the game and you die in any stage, you will come back, but you won't have any of your power-ups. Now, when it comes to a side-scrolling stage, it's not that big of a deal because you only have 2 bullets and they're already pretty close together. but when it comes to the top scrolling parts and you die, it can be a major deal if you mess it, if you die and you only have the single shot, having to avoid everything. So I've been telling people lately, because people, I'm part of some groups on Facebook and stuff, and talked about this game in particular, and I pretty much came to the conclusion that beating it without dying is actually easier than. Okay, so there's 5 guys. So beating the game without dying is actually easier than beating the game and dying and using continues and stuff. Simply because of the fact that once you die, you lose all your power-ups, and the game just becomes way more difficult without your power-ups and your triple fire or double fire, depending on what perspective you're playing in at any given moment. So I picked this Mephisto guy or whatever. What was his name? Nephis was a guy in Shaq Fu. Mephisto. I think that was a Misfits song. Mephisto's Waltz, I think. I think that was a Misfits song. Anyway, this was the stage that I had the most problems with as far as like learning the patterns and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to the reptile guy stage I played first, because that's the one I can play through without having any issues. So I figured I would get all my power-ups in the first stage and then play the second stage. Play this Mephisto guy's stage. So I'd be able to get it out of the way. So, so I'm not running through the game and then this is the last stage and I end up choking or whatever. I wanted to get it out of the way as fast as possible. And the only way I was able to do this one was to be fully powered up, and to do that I had to play through one stage beforehand. So that's why I chose this stage. Everything else is pretty much freestyle. Each time I was playing through, I was picking different paths and stuff, because it didn't really matter. This was the only stage I had any issues with. This one and the last boss. But we'll get to that later. I need a cough button. Say that a lot. So at the end of most of the stages, there's like a little mini boss that you have to kill. Some stages don't have them. I don't think. I don't think you fight a guy here. I think you just go off into the ending or something. But you can see like how. God, excuse me. You can see how advantageous it is that I have basically three angles of approach, and I can still attack all the enemies. By default, okay, this part isn't that bad. Just do your best to get in front of it, and then just kind of do what I'm jittering back to kind of reorient yourself to the bottom of the screen. It happens again later, and the second time the thing with the hands happened, it actually is a little more difficult. I think it's right here, actually. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, so the problem with this particular section that could be a run killer is you don't know when those hands are going to be moving. They seemingly just move randomly. So do your best to just give yourself enough room to be able to do what I just did there. Sometimes you'll still get hit. Haven't quite figured out, if there's a timing to it or what, but that's it. Yeah, see, so this is the end of the stage. There's no boss here. So the way the game works... Oh, the bombs. Okay, so you just hit the select button, and the little B, the B icons, those are your bombs. You can hit select, it takes everything out on the screen. Except for non-shootable bullets. You'll see that later. Like the bullets. So some bullets you can shoot and like kind of blow them up. Others you can't. The ones that you can't do that to are invulnerable to the B or to the bomb. Now again, you can see how having a triple shot here gives you such an edge over the enemies, because if you just have the single shot going straight, this stage is actually quite difficult because there's no way to approach some of these enemies because they're on your on the side, and you can't touch any of the gray area of the screen. You have to stay in the brown. So there are some parts that actually make it. If you only have like a single weapon, some parts you cannot. Some enemies you simply can't kill because there's no conceivable angle. Like that guy I just killed is impossible to shoot if you just have the one straight shot, because there's no way you can orient yourself with the board being as long as it is. So now this is pretty much just an exercise. You just kind of finish it up. Just be diligent, just stay shooting. From here on, there's really no danger. Now I'm just shooting things to get points. To switch my trajectory like that, I'm hitting the B button, and that gives you 3 different angles to shoot at. You can shoot up, down, and then to the side. If you do it with the side-scrolling part, you can shoot forward, down, and then behind you. Alright, so this was another stage that can be kind of frustrating for people. So what I do here is I wait as long as I can, and then you just kind of run to the end because you don't want to get hit by a random pumpkin. See right there, I changed it just so I can kill that guy. Now again, you don't have to take obviously you don't have to do anything, but you don't have to take my path here. This was just the easiest for me. So, yeah, everyone's different. But all the Fs don't do anything. Like once you're fully powered up, that's it. You get your 5. I use a bomb here in a second. Right here. Okay, so this part. You can shoot all this stuff and kind of take the risk, but you can just use the bomb and then just run underneath the skull. Makes your life a whole lot easier. Now, honestly, I don't think I shouldn't have used as many bombs as I did on that one boss, because those enemies, when you shoot them, they multiply them and they shoot bullets at you, and I forgot that actually happened. So, I kind of got caught. And I had to use a bunch of bombs that were kind of, shouldn't have used them, but whatever. So with these things, you can shoot these guys and then they'll stop. They stop shooting the lava, which just makes your life easier. Just try to do what you can to stay on the top of the screen. Now, some people are kind of confused about the hurt box of the Silver Surfer. Now, as long as the board isn't being touched by anything, and it goes basically from the board to your head. And just think of like a big square. So the extra shot has nothing to do with you getting hit or not, which is why I was able to stay on top of the screen there. So another little hint as far as what you can and can't fly through. If you can shoot if your bullets go through something, you're allowed to go through that object. If your bullets stop on an object, you cannot fly through it. So that's kind of your gauge, to see what you're allowed to fly through and what you're not allowed to. Another piece, was that piece 3? A possessor. Now, this was another stage that I wasn't able to play first. Some of the patterns of these skulls are kind of crazy, and like your lack of a better word, your level 1 weapon isn't really that good, so sometimes you can find yourself just getting caught by this seemingly nonsense. I mean, you don't need to, if you're powered up, you don't have to worry about it, but if you're just starting with this particular stage, you gotta have pretty quick reflexes, and I don't. So I decided to play this one after I was already fully powered up. And you can see, and as I'm playing, I'm destroying as much as I can, just so I have less things to worry about. Like the turrets, like the guns and stuff I'm shooting, they turn with you, and they follow you. So just yeah, 9 lives. Okay, cool. So just be diligent with that kind of stuff, so you don't get caught in a bad position where you're just basically fighting for like a single spot on the screen to stand and not die. It's easier to just take things out as early as possible, just so you don't have to worry about it. Like had I not killed those things, this is a pretty hard section of the level, but I killed everything. So that's the only thing I would maybe say for anyone who's trying to pick this game up for the first time. Just make sure you're diligent in killing everything on the screen, unless you really don't have to. But with levels like this, with things shooting at you, try to get rid of them as fast as possible, just so it's one less thing to worry about. And as you can see, that's my approach, and it works. So I'm actually at the end of it. Now, one thing so here's the end. So one thing that I do kind of think is interesting is, see, right now I have 9 extra lives. You can see them on the right. But as you get more than 9, instead of just going to 0 or staying at 9, the game actually it assigns each extra life it looks like a Japanese symbol, which I thought was actually kind of neat. Definitely unique. I had never seen it before until this game. This is pretty straightforward. You just kind of make your way through the stage. So one thing I kind of like about this game is it doesn't generally take that long. The game it auto scrolls, so the only time you have any control is basically the length of a boss fight. So the game itself is fairly short. I think this video is only like half an hour long or something. So the game is fairly short. I like it. I don't think it's bad by any means. I think it's a pretty good game. It's definitely challenging, but it's not, overwhelmingly difficult. See, here's what I'm saying about just do what you can to get rid of everything on the screen. See, you can see the bomb didn't kill that bullet. It was actually was en route to hit me. That was a bullet I wasn't able to blow up, so yeah. He's actually the end of the stage. Once the door closes, I think it's over. Yeah, see I didn't notice when you changed. It must have been a number of points that I got or something, but you see the number 9 changed to a symbol. Okay, so 2 more stages left. Now, this stage can get a little overwhelming as well if you're not diligent with your killing all your enemies and stuff on the screen. You see all the rockets and stuff if you're not paying attention or you can't quite get a hold of them, they could definitely clog up your screen and cause some problems. So if you start seeing missiles, try to find where they're coming from and get rid of them as fast as possible. It's just less of a headache as a whole. And again, this is where you can see that having your triple shot, you can move it around, is so good. You can be directly to the side of something and shoot something, which is, in a stage like this, it's really, really helpful. And again, I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say, so I'm going to be fairly quiet, almost from, that was a close one, almost from now to the end. I mean, you can see the game. The game is what it is. I mean, you go either from the bottom to the top or the left to the right, and you do your best to avoid and shoot things. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've lost steam. One of the drawbacks of talking to yourself. I guess one thing I can say is that you can notice that I'm always trying to use, like if there's an enemy on the floor, I'm always trying to use the bottom portion, like the bottom gun. And that's because as long as I stay above the bullets, because the gun itself can't get hurt. So I try to keep myself out of danger while still getting, hits on enemies and stuff. I use it pretty often, try to use the bottom gun to kill a lot of the enemies. Yeah, I definitely use that tactic here. You can see I'm not in any kind of danger when I'm actually shooting it. I think I get a little fidgety just because I'm scared. But you can see I'm not in any danger. That thing's never going to shoot me and I'm still getting damage on it. So that's the end of the regular, the 5 other guys. So now here's Galactus. You've done well. One piece is missing. It's in the magic domain. So I'm guessing right now he's working for Galactus. I actually like that screen, like that little cutscene. I thought that was kind of neat. Alright, so now I'm going to be fighting this guy who looks kind of like Captain Planet. That's what he looks like to me anyway, Captain Planet. Now this is, I wouldn't say it's the hardest stage, but it's definitely the most annoying. Like this last set of boards, which is fitting. I mean, this is the last set of stages before the game's over, so should be the most annoying / hardest, I guess. One thing I can say about this game that's a definite positive is the control is really good. There's never any moment where I feel like I have no control over him, or he's going where I don't want him to. He can move very precisely, which is in a shmup, that's something you really want. Is very crisp movement, and this game definitely gives that to you, which is nice. What was the other shmup by Milton Bradley? I think it was Milton Bradley made it. It was called Abadox. That game was a little clunky. It was good, but it was okay. So in this section, when you get these things that are moving upwards, once you see that gray ledge, just get a bomb ready, so you don't have to worry about that wave of the. They look like babies, dead fetus baby things. So you don't have to deal with that wave, that wall in the beginning. Just kill them all and make it easy on yourself. This level I always found kind of creepy with all the weird faces and stuff. So yeah, here's also where the really good control comes into play. You can see that I have to do a lot of really precise movements in order to stay alive here. And had this game had bad controls, I don't know if I would have been able to do it. So definitely a plus. Anyone making a shmup out there, make sure you have really good controls. Make sure everything's very responsive, because that can make or break your game. Now I chose the middle path here, because you'll see in a second, like once I get out, you'll see two bubble machines on the left, one on the left, one on the right. Easiest way to take care of them is just jump up the middle and then shoot them both. If you pick one side or the other, you could run into a bad situation where you're trapped by the bubble. So that's why I did that. So here's the last mini boss. This was another run killer. I died here a couple times trying to record my run. It's this weird crab-looking thing, or like a scorpion or something, lobster. But you can see how fast he moves. There's no way that you can outrun him. If he has his sights on you, or he's running around, because he's really quick. If you don't get out of the way, or if you're not completely out of his realm of being contacted by him, he'll hit you, and you're dead. You basically start from the second. You start from the place where I said to go in the middle path. You start over there somewhere, I think. I think these were like flying pigs or something. The enemies in this stage were really strange. I don't know what these were supposed to represent. Now again, you can't touch the silver thing. That's a no-no. So you have to do what you can to avoid them. Thankfully, the game, as you can see, gives you tons of power-ups and stuff. It doesn't. I don't think it gives you any of the extra shots. Like if I just had the one shot right now, I don't think I can ever get two. I don't think there's a shot boost thing in here, but everything else, I mean, you're definitely fully powered. They give you the chance to be fully powered up by the time you play the final boss. It might be like right here. I think I'm done. And here he is, the purple monster. Not sure what that is exactly, but you can see like even from the way I'm fighting this boss, the clear advantages you have having your second shot available like that, because you can do damage to him while he's on the left side of the screen, which you normally can't do. This guy takes a whole lot of shots, which is something that kind of took me off guard. The first couple times I choked. It was because I thought he was going to die, and I kind of was risky with it. And yeah, he takes a ton of shots, so be prepared for that. His pattern really isn't that difficult. If you can notice it, he just comes out and shoots kind of in your general direction. I was going to mess around with one kind of strategy, but I ended up beating the game, and I didn't want to play the game anymore. But I think, since he went to the left right there, I think if you stay on the top left like corner, I think there's no way he can shoot you. Like right now, if I just jam to the top left, like right now, I don't think I would ever get hit. Not 100%, it was a working theory. I was going to test had I messed it up, but I didn't. Just killed him. Now, right now, I'm actually, as a fun fact, I'm doing a lap around the living room because I was very excited. So congratulations. Yeah, that's actually why that screen was there longer than it should have been. So congratulations. That's the Doomsday device thing or whatever it is. You find out that Galactus is going to take it, and it's his now. The forces of magic have been defeated. And then he says, no, it's too strong or something. Wait, where's that scene? Yeah, no, it's too dangerous. I will take it to a safe place. Never shall it fall into the wrong hands. So I don't know what that means. Like, where did he put it? Just in his apartment? I don't know. And then it says, Silver Surfer, the end. And this is where I leave you guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. This game took me a while to get. Definitely exciting. And I hope you enjoyed it. Rate, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever. That's it. Hope you liked it. Goodbye.